So the issue here is if ES takes this high, then I don't want to get in this on, like, then essentially the liquidity that I wanted to target for a buy here would be gone, and ES is pretty much at the high, so it's not a great trade, and I don't like taking trades that are not great, so I'm gonna stay out of here for now. Um, let's wait and see what happens. What we'll end up getting here, because yeah, this sort of liquidity here would probably definitely hurt this fair value gap. Take this trade anymore. So we can see we do have kind of this fair value gap here. Which could, right, potentially provide us with a trade to the upside if we kind of get that close. And if not, then not. That is perfectly fine. And simply wait and see what happens here. We have this on ES here, this zone. Yeah, I want to see if we can get like a strong move to the upside here, and if not, then not. Right, we don't know what the market will do. We can't predict the market. This 15-minute candle is very, very bearish, showing us a strong rejection here, which is very interesting. Potentially will turn bearish here. That could very well be. But yeah, that being said, we'll keep watching price here. We'll see what it does. So we're seeing a strong 5 minute move to the incredibly strong. God damn, move to the downside on the 5 minute here. Um, this, I mean, this candle is just it grabbed the liquidity here, and now it's moving like crazy here. Um, to be honest, there's not much we can do here right now. There's really nothing we can do. Like, we have this liquidity target. The 4 hour candle and 1 hour candle are about to close, and the 15 minutes. Essentially, all the candles are about to close. Um, what maybe we could see is like a sort of PO3 setup where the next 4 hour candle kind of makes a high, and then we can take a sell at that high that it creates to the downside, and then maybe it creates a low and closes and breaks to this 4 hour bullish fair value gap. You know, that could I could see that happening, but let's simply wait and see, right? We're not going to make any predictions. We'll let this 5 minute candle here play out. And then maybe we open a 5 minute gap here, trade into, trade out of it, whatever. Uh, but yeah, let's not make any assumptions here. We'll simply wait and see. So let's see here, right? We have the potential of something like this to play out, which would give us a trade like that. We want to see a close here, something like this, something like that. But I would need to see a strong close below this fair value gap for us to take something like this. Strong close below, not a weak close or anything. No close below, so no trading. You can see we have now also built a 5-minute gap here. However, if price closes below here, I would still just take that as a trade as well. If price does close dirty bearish there, I would still take it. But not if we close way lower than this, because then it just doesn't really make sense anymore to take this. Yeah, we're moving too low. We're moving too low. I don't really want that. I'm not a fan of this wick that's building right now either. It just doesn't really make sense for me to take this trade here. We also have a 5-minute zone above us. I don't love it. I just don't love it. If I don't love it, I don't want to take it. Like, yes, chances are high that we might take this low, but it's just not great. It's just not great. I just don't love it. Yeah, because we did form this 5-minute zone with kind of a candle close like this. This is also now liquidity that price could draw towards, right? So now we kind of have 2 points of liquidity that price could draw towards, right? Which is, first of all, this gap, and second of all, this low right here, right? These 2 places of liquidity. So what would I like to see in this case is go up into this liquidity, take one liquidity to then take the other liquidity, right? Or take this liquidity to then take this liquidity. So now we can see, okay, one side of the liquidity has been taken here. We've got this fair value gap forming. So now if price decides to break lower, now I'm confident in taking a sell. That's something that a lot of people get wrong, because you might sell here after this inversion and then you get taken out, right? Because in that case you're targeting liquidity here, but it's essentially a 50-50. which liquidity is going to get hit, this one or this one. Now we can see this move here is incredibly bullish. If we break above this 5 minute, I'll treat it as an inversion and trade to the upside. You know, so there's that option as well. Kind of everything is open right now for price to show us where it wants to go. What we'll do is simply wait here and see. What I don't like is that with our stop loss to the downside now, we would need to be very big. But for example, with a close like this, we could still get 1R out of it here. So that is fine. And yeah, we can see the 5 minute here is being respected. On ES, I would like to see it being respected as well if we take sells. Kind of disrespected, but not really. We'll wait and see here, right? And we'll just let this play. We can see right now a strong reaction from this zone here. Strong kind of bullish wick that's forming. We'll let this play out, right? We could potentially respect this, right? Invert this 5 minute fair value gap and go bullish. Continue going bullish here. Looking at the 4 hour, that does kind of make sense, but doesn't really matter what makes sense and what not. We have this setup here, which would be valid, right? So it's something that we would take. If that happens, great. If not, then not. We're kind of currently in the middle of this fair value gap, and now we've made this bearish fair value gap here on the 1 minute as well. So we'll wait and see. We kind of have the opportunity, if we do close below now, to take our stop loss to this level. If we, of course, that is, get a bearish close, then we don't know anything. We just let price play, let it do its thing. But this would be sort of the trade in that case, if that happens. So we'll watch closely here. This candle close is going to be what's interesting for us. But it's looking like we're not going to close below here. No, we don't. Still respecting the bearish FEG. Let's see here now what this candle brings. If it brings a close that's bearish enough for us to take a trade here, it could potentially be, right? Could very well be. But let's wait. No, not closing. So yeah, we're in an interesting situation here. I could just see buys play out as well from this, like from inverting this. I could see that play. I'm not gonna lie. I do in some way or form believe that could play. But let's wait here, right? We'll wait and see what these candles bring. And if we do get a close, I would want to see price close below this here, kind of below that wick. That would be kind of what I want to see. Just not a fan exactly of how price is moving here. I'm not a huge fan there. Like, I don't love it. I don't love it, so I don't want to take it. Like, this move to the downside is just a bit too slow here, right? So I don't love it. I don't love it. And this is where this discretionary trading comes in, right? This is where discretionary trading really comes in, and where it can really kind of show you what no, but I also can't take a buy here. Just if we invert that, I can't do that. Maybe on a secondary account, right? I would, but not on a main account. I won't do that. To just take buys off of this inversion, I would want to see the 5-minute get inverted and then us continuing up. Right, so essentially this 5-minute inverted and then buys that I could see. But otherwise, I'm not really interested in that. Like what I could see play here is also this short, if it like price breaks below there and kind of have something like that. I could see that play as well, but it's just none of this is great. So I'm not gonna get involved here because it's just all kind of wishy-washy, the PA. And it's simply not great. Like look at this again, look at it on the 3-minute, look at it on the 5-minute. Right here we're just kind of ranging around, not showing any big intention to go anywhere. And the way I trade, I want the market to show me what it wants to do, right? I want the market to show me which liquidity pool it wants to go to. And right now we have this liquidity pool, yes, which price could very well trade into, but I also need a clear entry that shows me, okay, price does not want to go and take this, right? Because right now price is neither showing me that it really wants to take this, nor showing me that it really wants to go up. So essentially price isn't showing anything that's clear, which means we will do nothing and wait. Now there is some heavy SMT here. There's some heavy SMT here. Right, so potentially, you know, if this does break strongly, then there could be this play here, which then would make sense. But, right, this is just speculation. We don't know what, if anything, is going to happen. We know nothing. And if you would get something like this, I would need to see a strong move right here on this candle. Which we do seem to be getting here. We do seem to be getting that. Right, so let's see what we get here. No, price is moving up again. Once again, I'm not a huge fan of this. Take it off. Price is not in a good position right now to trade. So what we'll do is we'll wait. Yeah, and I don't like any of this, so I'll kind of remove this as well here, just so that no one even gets the idea of taking that shit, because currently it's ridiculously choppy, the PA. Nothing clean about this, right? Nothing clean about it, so why would we take it? And yes, you know, you could trade that to the downside here, but genuinely, why? Why would I? I don't want to. Yes, price is highly likely to take this low here, but I just do not want to get involved in that because it's choppy, it's bad, it's bad price action. So actually what I'll do is I'll pull up the 3-minute here, and we'll just wait on the 3-minute time frame to kind of avoid all this 1-minute chop that we're seeing right now. So we've got this 1 minute zone now, which is still in play, and we've got this 1 minute zone, which is in play, right? 2 zones here. However, for buys, I want to see the 5 minute zone getting inverted, the 5 minute, 5 minute bearish zone getting inversed. Yeah, because that would be important for me. Like you could, if you are aggressive, take something along the lines of this, you know, which would be kind of an aggressive entry if it happens, right? Maybe on a secondary account I will, if it happens, but not on my mains because it goes against my rules, right? We do have right here, we kind of have SMT. But yeah, the 5 minute is still bearish for me, so I will not take any buys here. Like I'm not liking this price action. You know, if we get like a clean move through this to the downside, you know, you could then also take something like this. And once again, you can see we're in a situation where just both buys and sells kind of make sense. And in those situations, what you usually want to do is nothing, right? Usually you just want to do nothing in those situations. Just let it play out. You can see a reaction from this zone currently. Right there. So if we do shoot up now, then I am down to take a trade here on my secondary account. However, on our main accounts, we will wait until something is confirmed on the 5 minutes. And currently, you can see price is stuck in this range, right? You see this range, price is stuck in it. And if we draw kind of a fib here on this range, we can see it's just bouncing from premium, discount, premium, discount, premium, right? So until we break out of this range, which would be breaking this 5 minute zone, I don't want to get involved in anything. So we are pushing to the upside here. I would want to see a strong candle close though if I would want to take this on my secondary. This is not exactly the strong candle close I had in mind. because we didn't close above this here. So even on my secondary, I'm not taking this. I'm not taking this on any accounts. I'm not liking it. Let's see, 5-minute candle. We got 1.5 minutes left. $15-minute. We got 11 minutes on the 15-minute there. 1 hour, yes. 4 hour. 4 hour is looking pretty bullish, I can't lie. I did enter a buy here on my secondary account. There we go. We'll simply let that play. Now looking at this, the 5-minute didn't quite break that. I want to keep an eye out on ES as well. If ES takes this, then I'm taking my trade-off on NQ as well on my secondary, right? Because on my secondary, this is what we're in here. You know, we've got the position there, got that aiming up here, right? We'll simply let that play. If it plays, great. If not, then fine. So we can see we've got this zone here now on the 1 minute, right? We're in the 5 minute inversion, also in the 5 minute just fair value gap, right? So we can also just draw this here as the fair value gap to kind of make it a bit cleaner looking. So let's wait and see what happens here, right? If we do get a buy setup here, it's something that I would take. Something kind of like this. That would be valid for me, and we could trade, we could target that. But let's see if it happens, right? Because I mean, this is still a fair value gap. Price could go lower from here, but yeah, price could do anything here, right? Is essentially the truth. Let's wait and see if it does break to the upside. I can see us taking a buy here. If not, then not. No problem whatsoever. I also do want to keep an eye on ES, right? Because we've also got the same there. And we can see we're moving lower here currently. Interesting. On both ES and NQ we're moving lower. Now moving higher again. But yeah, to take a buy here, I would need a clean move. I would need to see a clean move. No, like nothing, you know, like if we get price action like this again, I don't want to trade that. I want to trade clean, big moves. None of that wishy-washy price action. So let's give price some time to figure out its game plan here. So you can see there is some downward momentum coming in here. Because for buys, that's not what we want to see. But it is perfectly fine, right? We have essentially 3 minutes left here for price to decide if it wants to close above or below this 5-minute zone. Which are right now looking bearish, looking quite bearish. This is definitely not valid anymore. strong rejection to the upside here. We can see just a lot of shit is happening here. And we can't really predict anything currently, so this 5-minute zone is going to be what will be interesting for us. So for buys, what we have here would be something along the lines of this. This is what we would have for buys. If that happens, great. If not, doesn't matter. So let's see what happens here. We've got, this is the last minute of the 5-minute candle before this closes. So yeah, we would need to see a strong up move here if we do want to take a buy. We need to see a strong up move here. Otherwise, I don't really see it happening. Okay, so the 5-minute candle closed here. Quite bullish, but it looks like right now we're moving down again. So yeah, once again, we can see the PA is just not great. I don't like trading with PA, that's not great. You know, so let's see here though if potentially this can break above. Right, this zone is what we're looking at. This zone would need to be broken for me to take a trade here. And also ES, right? We have that liquidity here as well. Because that would be our target essentially if we end up taking something here. But to take it, what do we need? We need a strong move. A strong move to the upside. No weak moves. We can see right now there is no strong move here. Strong move, it's not there. Once again, we close within the zone here. What I would need to see though is a close above the zone. NQ we can see is looking a little bit weaker. ES is looking a little bit weaker, I mean. Now ES is following though. Getting a little bit more bullish, but ES NQ is turning a little bit bearish. So once again, price action is just kind of fucking with us here. Messing around. And there's just nothing there for us currently. Same thing again, no close. But now this candle, 3 minutes, might close bullish here. If it does, then good. If not, then not good. Well, not good for buys. It doesn't matter for us, to be honest, but yeah. Strong move would be needed here. Strong move would be needed. No weak moves. Not strong enough. Don't like it. Not taking it. Like, I want to see something better here, and here the 3 minute did close above. I do like that. Like, I like most things about this. I just want to see a bit of a stronger close. A bit of a stronger close is what I want. There we get it. This is kind of what we wanted here, right? We got it in the form of this, and we have a target in the form of this. So let's see if we can achieve this target. Or not. I'm going to move to break even here because I would want to see this play out in a smooth move now. On my secondary account, by the way, I closed it all up. Since on my secondary, right, we bought down here already. But yeah, on these primary accounts, what we'll do is we'll keep it here at break even. You can see ES is taking those highs already. Matter of fact, I'm just going to close it right there. We close it there. I just don't want this to reverse on us because ES is moving quite high currently, and tomorrow is a bank holiday. So yeah, we'll keep it like that. All right, I'll see you all around. Bye bye.